We took him to a psychiatrist, and within a matter of minutes, yeah, she's ADHD, and here's your drug.
Went on the Medicaid, and 5 minutes later, he was on Zyprexa.
He saw the psychiatrist who prescribed the medicine for 20 minutes.
The guy didn't even look at her. He talked to her a little bit. Now, how can you tell if somebody's ADHD or not ADHD from just a few minutes talking to her?
Next thing I know, I'm getting handed a handful of Xanax. That's how easy it is to get these drugs. Just so easy. It's just passed to me like candy. That's simple.
If a person were to walk in off the street, sat down with a psychiatrist, the chances of him being prescribed a drug before he were to leave the office, I would have to put it at 100%.
Psychiatrists prescribe drugs. They might have different ways of diagnosing, they might have different ways of interacting with a patient, but it's rare to find a psychiatrist that uses no drugs.
The psychiatrists today are, in quotes, admitting they can't cure these mental illnesses, and they're therefore going to manage your illness by using a drug.
50 years ago, a person who was going through a divorce would have relied on family, friends, clergy, and even the family doctor to a certain extent for conversation to work through the issue. They certainly wouldn't have been medicated.
抗精神薬の時代が来る前の精神科医たちは医療従事者の中でも重要視されることがなく、その仕事もほぼ精神医療施設内に限定されていました。治療法を持たない彼らは一般市民や同業者から普通の医師とみなされることもほとんどありませんでした。
Psychiatrists had for years been on the fringe of medicine. Typically, the standard doctor internist would have very low regard for psychiatrists because it was understood not to be a very clear science or art.
Psychiatrists wanted to be viewed as physicians, as doctors, and in order to be viewed as physicians and doctors, the people they dealt with had to be viewed as patients. And if doctors dealt with diseases, then their patients had to be diseased.
Psychiatrists had a wonderful opportunity, they felt, to become respected in the eyes of their peers. They raced to create a whole diagnostic book called the DSM, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, which was created by consensus.
A group of psychologists and psychiatrists get together, and if they have made common observations, they have a vote and they now classify a new disease. And they give it a number and it graduates into the DSM classification.
And it's a dangerous book. It's a book that has many disorders that could apply to any one of us because the disorders are not real medical diseases. And it's things that apply to nearly all of us at times. Are you afraid of meeting new people? Are you afraid to speak in front of a large crowd of people? Does it make you nervous to go and to talk to your boss about a complaint?
You can invent a mental disorder based on a checklist of symptoms, and that is exactly how the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, the billing Bible for psychiatry, works.
1952年に DSM の初版が出て以来、病名の数は着実に増えていきました。DSM は106のいわゆる精神障害を列記した130ページの薄い小冊子から886ページにまで膨れ上がりました。精神科医たちが診断、投薬し、治療費を請求するためにはこの本を使わなければならないのです。事実、精神医療産業は現在 DSM を使って民間や政府の保険金から720億ドル以上を集めています。
The DSM is used to diagnose and then give a label, and the label is used for billing purposes. That's how they get paid.
You have to have a term in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual in order to then call it a disease and treat it as a disease and write a prescription for it.
And so because they can vote it in, they can create, and then the drug industry can just take over and market their drugs for those new disorders.
And those drugs were welcomed by psychiatry leaders because it made us real doctors.
Of course, first the public had to believe that there was something wrong with them, and that that thing wrong was biochemical, and that that could then be treated by a drug which was supposed to cure all.
And so it was relatively easy, I think, to say, well, look, let's start looking at mental illness as fundamentally a matter of chemical imbalance in the brain.
Chemical imbalance is a term that's used as a marketing ploy, as opposed to anything that there's scientific evidence to support.
Nobody has yet measured, demonstrated, or created a test to show that somebody has a chemical imbalance in their brain. Period.
How do you market a drug that restores the chemical balance or corrects a chemical imbalance? How can you do that in good conscience if you don't even know what one is?
The whole myth of the chemical imbalance was created to sell drugs.
精神科医と製薬会社はこの神話を使って何も知らない消費者に大量の向精神薬を摂取させ巨額の利益を得てきましたが、一般市民は取り返しのつかないほどの代償を払うことになりました。自殺したアメリカ人のほぼ半数が向精神薬を取っていました。推計によると向精神薬による年間の死亡者は殺人による死亡者の 2.5 倍以上です。ではこうした危険な向精神薬から一般市民を守る役割を委ねられているのは誰でしょう。アメリカ合衆国では食品医薬品局 FDA です。しかしその精神薬諮問委員会は製薬業者、学術団体、開業医、政府機関の間を行き来する精神科医たちに牛耳られ、いわゆる回転ドア状態です。
The revolving door at FDA is one of the primary reasons why the system that we have works so poorly. That revolving door is a direct result of the fact that a group of people with the same mindset are put into positions of being regulators and in the position of being formulators and sellers and marketers.
The panels that are formed by the FDA to evaluate these drugs, the psychiatrists who are on those panels, almost all of them have conflicts of interest where they have directly or indirectly received funding from the very industry and the very parties within the industry whose drugs they are evaluating.
So there's this tight little relationship between psychiatry, pharmaceutical industry, and FDA where they each mutually support each other, and yet the mental health of the population does not improve.
典型的な例は抗うつ剤パキシルを承認した FDA の薬物評価委員会です。この委員会の精神科医たちは全員が製薬業界と金銭的なつながりを持っていました。このような公共の利益の侵害は議会による調査を促すほど横行しています。
When I check these advisory committees who make recommendations to the FDA, and they're always approved after the advisory committee, I found that there were conflicts of interest. I found that many of the people on the advisory committees had never filed a proper report on stocks and bonds that they owned that might be viewed as a conflict of interest, and they're by law supposed to do that.
公共の利益に反するこうした精神医療界、製薬業界、FDA の結びつきは1992年にプドゥーファとして知られる処方薬申請者負担金法が成立した後、さらに強固なものになりました。この法律により FDA には一つの薬品ごとに10万ドルの審査費用が支払われ、向精神薬が直ちに認可の手続きを終え、かつてない速さで処方者の手に渡るようになるのです。
Congress told the FDA, your job is no longer to make sure drugs are squeaky clean safe before they get out on the market. Your job now is to hurry up and get new drugs on the market faster.
It acted to set the priorities of the FDA so that if there was a fee paid for a particular drug approval, it could be put on the fast track and rushed to market with less than the usual scrutiny that the FDA would give it.
このようなスピード認可は安全性の代わりに販売を優先するものでした。この法案の通過以来、医薬品の審査に費やされる時間は1992年にはほぼ2年だったものが4年後にはたった6ヶ月にまで短縮されました。その間、一般に売り出された新薬の数は倍増しました。スピード認可は市民の安全にとって破滅的なものですが、 精神医療界と製薬業界には莫大な利益をもたらします。薬品の認可が早ければそれだけ早く金儲けができるからです。その金額は莫大です。各抗精神薬の売り上げは1日平均770万ドル以上にも上るのです。ジプレキサという薬品の売り上げは1日でほぼ1200万ドルになります。現在 FDA は一つの新薬の申請に100万ドル以上の審査費用を課していますが、医薬品のスピード認可に歯止めがかかる兆しはありません。
If you look at the relationship between the FDA, the pharmaceutical industry, and the psychiatrists, there's some kind of game that they're playing there. And what is the game? Well, you could say it's money, definitely money.
And when you follow the money, you realize that there is no money in health. There's big money in disease.
That's why all you hear about is managing disease or treating disease. You don't really talk about curing disease.
And so psychiatrists have become mainstream doctors in America. And that is because of the pharmaceutical industry. They can thank the pharmaceutical industry because they become mainstream and because they have a lot more money than they used to. And the drug industry can thank them because now they have thousands of soldiers in their army distributing these drugs to everybody.
乳幼児から高齢者まで精神科医たちが作り出した数多くの架空の精神障害の影響と無縁でいられる人はいません。これらは抗精神薬業界に巨万の富をもたらしています。そして精神科医たちは毎日のように彼らの網を広げ続けています。そのための手段は精神医学による新たなレッテルです。